Hi, welcome. Here we are. It's the big day. It's the first big event of the year in terms of gaming, the Xbox Developer Direct. I'm here. I've got mac and cheese. I've got pizza. I've got the whole lot. Whole shebang. Live reacting to this thing. I'm really excited. It starts in a minute. I think this is going to be... I think it's going to be big. The reason why is because... I think this year is going to be a very big year for all the big three. I think Nintendo's going to have a really big year. I think in the next few months they're going to announce the next Nintendo Switch, the next big console. I also think with PlayStation, we know pretty much nothing of what's on the grapevine with them in terms of first-party games other than Wolverine. So I think they might have a really big showcase this year. Come out blazing with Ghost of Tsushima 2, all of those sorts of games. And Xbox, I think, you know, so many great games are to come this year. I think it might be quite impressive if they do make some big announcements here. So then they get some, you know, they share the limelight as well at the start of the year. We'll see. I would love to see a Gears of War Marcus Phoenix collection. I think if they do that, they'll hold it until later on, until the big sort of summer event. But I can't wait to see Indiana Jones, and maybe we'll see about Double Fine's new game as well. So let's find out. I'm so excited. But yeah, feel free to hang out and chat with me. Welcome to the mukbang. Also, if this sounds a bit funny, let me know as well. See, over PlayStation, I grew up with Xbox, so I'm already... Oh, so it's just showing these 4 studios. Okay. 4 unique games. Okay, so it's literally what they're telling us. Okay. Fair enough. I did wonder if there'll be like a mini announcement or something, maybe, about Activision or... something like that, but okay. At least we know that these look like really impressive games anyway. And obviously, rightfully so, there's a lot of hype around the Indiana Jones. Here we go. Time for Avowed, guys. I'm really excited for Avowed. I love RPGs.
I'm so proud to share with you
this
our
is right
upcoming
up my street.
fantasy action RPG, Avowed. Avowed is an adventure into the heart of the living lands, a frontier at the edge of the known world, where you must put a stop to a mysterious spiritual plague and discover a secret at the heart of the living lands. At Obsidian, we love creating worlds with deep themes, dynamic gameplay, and thoughtful reactivity.
It's almost like giving
and Avowed is no different.
Obsidian like a Skyrim.
We set out to blend the believable
like how they
and
did with Fallout.
fantastical
That's the sort of hype I'm feeling with this.
a world and experience like no other. It's colorful, it's vibrant, it's strange. It's one of the most incredible settings in the world of Aora. There's going to be a lot of great secrets to discover, one of which has a really personal connection to you as the player character, and you're going to have a great time getting to know those secrets and leaving your mark on the world. And
also
when
the
it comes
Pillars of
to
Eternity
encounters,
universe
our
as
combat
well, this
brings
one.
the best of the moment-to-moment fun that comes with action-oriented gameplay and the depth and breadth of choice that you get with an RPG. Here to talk more about Avowed's combat is Gabriel Paramo, gameplay director.
Here at Obsidian, our team's overarching goal is to empower you with choice. So we developed a flexible combat system that allows you to quickly swap from
Do you remember when they made the
spellcasting and
South Park
sharpshooting
game?
to
Oh, that
melee
was so
combat.
good, Stick of Truth.
We want to give you
I'll have to
the
stream
freedom
that
to mix
sometime.
and match your loadout to fit the way you want to play from moment to moment, uninterrupted. For all battles, you can combine a variety of weapons, attacks, and abilities for tactical advantages against a wide range of enemy types. It's not just hacking and slashing. You're making real-time decisions about when to use your abilities, powerful melee attacks, blocks, parries, and special attacks. If you choose to approach combat with a one-handed wand, it feels quick and snappy when dealing damage to enemies at mid-range. Using the Tanglefoot ability, you can stop enemies in their tracks, giving you the opportunity to focus on weaker or tougher combatants in an intentional and controlled manner. It's important to pay attention to the types of enemies you're dealing with. Some units are extremely defensive, some are brutishly difficult, and others you must make sure you prioritize, or their healing capabilities will put you in a tough spot. To help with the different encounters you will face, we provide customizable loadouts that can be quickly switched during combat. That means you can play however you want. Equip a sword and shield and charge into battle. Dual-wield pistols and control the encounter mid-range. Or even dual-wield wands to feel like a gunslinging mage. You could use your enchanted wand to freeze enemies and then use your offhand weapon's power attack to shatter them. We've worked hard to keep you constantly engaged as battles unfold by creating a balance between pressure and manageability during combat.
Players will have ample choices for how to build and progress their envoy in the world of the Living Lands as they get to know the game and the story and explore the many diverse regions. Some quests in Avowed will have you make difficult decisions with profound consequences, like this side quest you may encounter in Shatterscarp, the third region you'll explore on your journey through the Living Lands. As you're exploring,
so you're going to different regions, so it's not going to be like massive open world.
And as you explore the remains of the battle, it's up to you to determine who, if anyone, is at fault.
Just the four of us. Manu, Kiri, Naoki, and me. Training under Captain Ruiki. Trying to keep Thirdborn safe.
In other words, you're a gang of vigilantes. Not that I'm one to judge.
Here. Take my badge. Take everyone's. Our families deserve to know we fought and died for them.
Making the right choice isn't always what it seems. We embrace moral nuance and gray areas, trusting players to make tough decisions in complicated situations.
My squad and I rested in the cave by the water last night, and as we were sleeping, we were ambushed by those miserable Zorifs. I was so surprised, and it was so dark. I just got separated from everyone else. Look, I can't face those monsters alone, but I have to know if anyone else made it out. Of course he did.
I'll tell you what, the facial animation looks pretty good as well.
Never has a thought he won't say out loud. So what did he tell you? That Captain Ruiki was sick? That I was paranoid? That I was a dumb baby? I heard it all often and loudly. Wait, if you found Sergeant Asui, why is he not here with you? What happened?
At the end of the quest, you have a choice. When you confront Private Naoki, if you believe the story he's told you, you can hand over the badges and let him go back home.
You're right. Real battle isn't something you can prepare for, is it? It's not my fault. No, they should have never have camped in the cave. I'll take the badges. I'm going back to Thirdborn.
But if you confront him, if you believe that he fled the site of the battle as an act of cowardice, then he might challenge you to a fight to reclaim his honor. Either way, when you return to town, you'll see the consequences of your actions and the choices you made during this quest. Creating an immersive experience like Avowed is anchored in the world we build. Art director Matt Hansen and the team have worked to create a unique, colorful, and dynamic visual style.
From the outset, we knew that we wanted Avowed setting to feel rich, weird, and wonderful. We found inspiration in a wide swath of real-world cultures, helping us create a unique RPG experience. By contrasting the vibrant with the dull, or verdant spaces with sickly ones, we can better deliver complex emotional experiences for our players. The Living Lands is a continent of untamed valleys with widely varied biomes, from luxuriant forests to volcanic wastes. And each of those regions itself is a conflux of storied landscapes. All of the regions have a lot of special things associated with them, but I have a deep place in my heart for Shatterscarp. As you're wandering the wastes of Shatterscarp, you might notice off in the distance a vibrant jewel of color. By transitioning from destitute, muted tones of a wasteland of sand and marching in towards a beautiful oasis, there's the opportunity there for life, for adventure, and even a little danger.
We hope you've enjoyed this look at Avowed. We're thrilled to share more about the game in the coming months, and we can't wait for you to explore the Living Lands when Avowed launches this fall.
Oh! Release window, though. That's more than I was expecting, so that's good. Oh, I like that artwork. It's going to be good. I'm really excited for that. We're going Oxide or Ninja Theory. We've got to get a release date. If we don't get a release date for this, May 21st is the rumor, we'll see. But we have to get a release date. Now's the time.
Hi, I'm Dom Matthews, studio head here at Ninja Theory in Cambridge, UK. We're now in the final months of development on Senua's Saga Hellblade 2.
Final
and the
months?
team is working hard to bring you an unforgettable journey into Senua's unique world and her battle for survival, where we have once again combined high fidelity and immersive presentation with a shorter, narrative-led experience that focuses on the things that we really care about, and that we hope you care about too.
Okay, so it's still going to be quite short. That's fine. Because every game that comes out now is so long.
Senua is back with a new quest. She wants to stop the Vikings who raided her village right at their source, in Iceland. But not just her quest has changed. Senua herself has grown since the first Hellblade. She's made peace with her past and is no longer in such fear of her visions and voices. While the Furies are still her constant companions, she encounters new people along the way, some of which will value her unique perspective.
See, I still haven't played the
and
first game.
others
I
who
need
will
to play
reject
it.
it.
It's really sort of
Little by
my cup
little.
of tea.
This settlement became my tribe.
In the game, Senua arrives in 10th century Iceland on the trail of the Vikings who have been enslaving her people. In the story, we're trying to be as faithful to history as we can up to a point, establishing a solid framework and then building more surreal elements on top. Senua will face up to giants who have plunged the land into chaos, and which in turn has seen the rise of the Droiga, a violent threat that has swept through the settlements that she'll discover. Senua will make new enemies and also new allies who will come to see her unique perspective as a beacon of hope. And she'll discover, along with us, how this viewpoint can have its advantages.
It is going to be amazing. I think this is going to be the most impressive looking game we've seen in a long
Senua is a Celtic
time.
warrior who experiences psychosis. Seeing
So it's
things
Unreal
that other people
Engine
don't,
5 as
hearing
well.
voices and having unique beliefs about the world around her. To bring Senua's perspective of the world to life in a truthful way, we have once again worked closely with Professor Paul Fletcher at the University of Cambridge, as well as people with lived experience of psychosis.
I didn't realise they were based in Cambridge. I love Cambridge. Is such a nice place.
Players will find themselves traversing beautiful and hostile environments, seeking answers from patterns and signs that Senua sees in her own unique way, and battling through encounters with enemies that will push Senua to her limits.
On Saga, we've taken everything to the next level. With a new motion capture space, a bigger stage team, a stunt crew, and a new cast.
We spent a lot of time planning
So
the
I'm
motion
sure she's a
capture
developer as well,
shoots,
or she was a
thinking of
developer.
what events would be good to bring into this fight? Like, how can we make this fight feel different from the previous fight? We have all new combat for the sequel. One of our key goals was the ability to actually tell a story throughout it. It does feel very different from the first game, but it's very brutal and you're very invested in it. Senua isn't a superhero. She's fighting for survival, and we want the player to feel her struggle in every step of her journey. We want the player to always feel like they just scraped through, just survived it.
I like the sound of that.
Mel knows Senua better than anyone, better than I do. Her instincts are amazing, and she really doesn't need much help from me. On stage, our main focus is storytelling. So I get to watch the actors and see all the beautiful expressions on their faces. And then I have to wait a little while, and then I get to see that all again, in-game, in costume, on location, everything. It's a great experience, a great process.
Every discipline in the studio is unified in achieving a deep level of immersion to help suspend your disbelief and pull you into Senua's story. We were lucky enough to do a few reference gathering trips in Iceland. You have to be there.
This is going to be...
The sense of scale, everything is incredible.
One of the biggest... I mean, this was the first game that was announced, I think, for Series X.
That works. That's
so it's
amazing.
taken this long. But I think it's going to be...
Senua experiences
Game
reality
of the Year
differently,
conversation for sure.
and a part of this manifests in the voices she hears.
She will collapse. She will collapse.
These voices come to life through binaural audio, which provides a good representation of this type of auditory hallucinations. As we focus in immersion, binaural audio is perfect for this because through headphones, you surround yourself in a three-dimensional space. In the first game, we only applied to the voices that Senua listens in her head. In this game, through spatial audio technology and some extra little things within the game, there is music that is binaural. Every single sound has the potential to be binaural, so everything is spatialized around you, and it's a very beautiful experience.
That will probably push sound forward potentially as well.
What will we do to us?
Music is a strange language in the sense that it speaks to our emotions fast and deep. It's not only about quality, it's about personality. So when you listen to Hellblade, you know it's Hellblade. On the music, we are working with Heilung, which for me is a personal privilege because I really admire them. We feel their craft, their depth, their meaning in the music. It really connects with our game and elevates it to something really special. We are also working with a heavy metal singer, throat singers, and our very own Furies. They sing so beautiful, and we add that binaural touch of music. So this all creates a very immersive and a very special and unique experience.
I think
this sounds going to be really interesting to see what
craft
that's like.
life-changing art with game-changing tech. And that's our aim in Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, is to not only see where Senua goes next, but to deliver something really meaningful for our players.
My hope is that they will really connect to Senua as a character, and even if they can't really relate to what she's going through, maybe they know someone that relates to that character and they can then understand that person better.
Well,
it's going to be a game that's definitely going to feel next gen, I think.
In a way, I'm Senua, right? She exists and doesn't. It exists through all of our work, through every ninja. So we all are Senua, and we are creating this character that grows and grows and grows and grows and keep growing and keep changing. So that makes it real.
We need a release date, though.
I'm so proud of the love, care,
He's
and
going to say it's going to say the release date.
Ninja Theory are putting into Senua's Saga Hellblade 2.
Say it.
Our hope is to not only create a game that is great to play, but to craft an experience that leaves you thinking and feeling.
May 21st.
From our combat gameplay through to our action set pieces, from our cinematic scenes to our puzzle solving, everything is crafted in service of Senua's journey.
Just give me enough time
to play the first game, you can embark on
May 21st.
May 21st.
There we go. We called it because of the leak that came out a few days ago. May 21st. Thank God we got a release date though. We're going to save Indiana Jones to the end. It's going to be Oxide now. Huh? What? No. No. What is it? I'm going to try Square Enix. Are they showing like that Legend of Mana? Oh, don't. Now they could do anything. Now they could have a surprise from Double Fine. Anything's possible now. What? It's going to be like Legend of Mana game or something. Or Final Fantasy 14 online for Xbox.
My name is Masaru Oyamada, producer for the Mana series here at Square Enix. 聖剣伝説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナの情報を
Xbox ユーザーの皆さんにいち早くお伝えできる機会をいただけて大変光栄です。コンソールゲームとしては約17年ぶりとなる聖剣伝説シリーズの完全新作。聖剣伝説シリーズは1991年にファイナルファンタジー外伝として誕生して以降、マナと聖剣をめぐって描かれる愛をテーマに、個性豊かなキャラクターたち、心に響く楽曲の数々、武器の特性を生かして戦うアクション RPG としてこれまでに17作発売され、長らく愛されてきました。本作は30年以上の歴史あるシリーズの最新作となるため、これまで培われてきた聖剣伝説としての世界をしっかり感じられるものを目指して鋭意制作中です。フィールドでは自然や精霊とのつながりを感じられる色彩豊かな聖剣伝説の世界を体験してもらえると思います。シリーズおなじみのモンスターたちも本作に登場しています。今回これらのおなじみのモンスターたちを作り出した聖剣伝説の生みの親である石井浩一さんとともに、聖剣伝説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナの内容を紹介していきたいと思います。
Hello, I am Koichi Ishii from Grebs. I am so happy to introduce the newest game in the Mana series to Xbox players.
初期の頃
からシリーズ作品に登場しているモンスターたちは私が考案したものですが中には小学生の頃すでにイメージができていたものもあります。今作では初めはドット絵からスタートしたモンスターたちをどのような形で最新化して聖剣伝説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナに落とし込むか、デザインの方向性からモデルの完成イメージまでを監修する立場でプロジェクトに参加しました。聖剣伝説ファイナルファンタジー外伝を作っていた頃から自分の頭の中ではモンスターたちは立体的に生き生きと動いて、これまで自分が携わった作品ではそれらをどうやって当時の技術で表現できるかにこだわって作ってきました。最新作では聖剣伝説のモンスターたちのただ可愛いだけではなく恐ろしさの部分もしっかりと表現できているので、バトル中はモンスターたちの表情にも注目してください。
これまで聖剣伝説シリーズには空を旅する海を渡る手助けをしてくれる頼もしい仲間たちがいましたが、今作には広大なフィールド探検に欠かせない新たな仲間が登場します。陸上を猛スピードで駆け回ってくれるピックルも石井さんが新たに考案してくださっています。
新たな仲間を考えるにあたっては今作のマスコットキャラクターになるくらい可愛い動物にしたいという漠然とした思いがありました。その上でヨークシャテリアの毛並み、見た目はアルマジルによく似た仙山港や古代エジプト神のアヌビスの子供といった具体的なイメージが浮かんできて、それぞれの特徴を取り入れながらラフデザインを書き起こしました。デザイナーにもアイデアを出してもらいながら足の長さや丸まった時のイメージなどゲームの中での見え方も考えながら調整を重ねていき、ピックルは誕生しました。
もう一つの挑戦は楽曲面です。過去さまざまなコンポーザーが携わられた楽曲の雰囲気が感じられつつも、最新作として素晴らしい新たな楽曲が生まれました。 BGM でもしっかり聖剣伝説シリーズらしさを感じてもらえると思います。過去シリーズの楽曲を手掛けたクリエイターたちが全100曲という大ボリュームの制作に挑んでくれました。新たな試みとしてフィールドの探索からバトルまでをシームレスに体験できるよう、今作ではインタラクティブミュージックを導入しており、冒険の没入感を高めてくれます。探索中の BGM がバトルに入った瞬間、アレンジが切り替わる様を実際に聞いてみましょう。今作はアクション RPG 聖剣伝説のアクション部分が強化されています。空中でのアクションがバトルの鍵となっており、
武器での攻撃だけでなく魔法での攻撃も可能になっています。そして本作ならではの特徴として聖剣伝説シリーズではおなじみの精霊たちがいますが、その力を宿した武器を使うとバトルを手助けしてくれるようになります。精霊によっては様々な特性の違いがありますので、その効果とともに聖剣伝説の世界らしい不思議な力で爽快なバトルを楽しんでいただけます。
オリジナルモンスターやピックリにも注目してほしいのですが、聖剣伝説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナーは聖剣伝説らしさを感じてもらえる作品になるよう小山田君を中心にチームのみんなが頑張って作ってくれていますので、ぜひ発売日を楽しみに待っていてください。私自身もプレイするのを楽しみにしています。
聖剣伝説シリーズとして初めて Xbox ユーザーの皆さんにお届けする本作聖剣伝説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナは今後も様々な情報をお届けしていきますので、ぜひご期待ください。この夏、
It's great to see Square Enix now finally collab with Xbox again, and you know, them be involved.
今から待ちきれません。
Because obviously they've been slated for like, you know, PlayStation for so long and Nintendo, so it's good to see Xbox and Square Enix sort of together again. Okay, so now it's going to be Oxide. Oxide? Oxide. So I wasn't really interested in this game, but now that I've got a PC, I am interested in this game. I love like civilization kind of games or simulation games. So this could be good.
Hello, and welcome to Oxide Games. We founded the studio in 2013 with our decades of personal experience building some of the most beloved strategy games of all time, like Civilization V. We came together to create something new and innovative in a genre we all love.
I want to play the Civ games properly.
Ara History Untold is the game we've dreamt of making.
Ara is an homage to historical gamers, strategy gamers, 4X gamers.
See, so this could be good. This could be it.
Gameplay
This could be
fans
it.
of this genre love, where you'll explore the world, expand your nation, govern your
this
people,
stuff like this I love,
with your
but
rivals on the international stage.
I can't play it on a
isn't
console.
Just more of the same.
I just
With Ara,
having
we
doing
want
that with
to
a
challenge
controller
some of the
it's not the
preconceived
same.
notions
It's
about
like
the genre.
Sims.
Push
You
it
used to love the
forward in a
Sims.
modern, empowering,
Play it on a
and
console.
truly compelling
No.
and approachable way.
No
For example,
way.
we have over 100 instruments on display in the office, which are all things that we purchased in order to add to the soundtrack and expand the game and make it really good. Hi, Dan. That's Dan. We started in his basement. It's been an amazing process to see.
I think what's
from
good about this
concept
as
to
well is
completion.
knowing that they've
We started small, building a robust game
made
engine,
some of the
questioning our
biggest
design assumptions, and prototyping out features.
simulation
Rediscovering what made us fall in love with strategy games in the first place.
The end result is Ara,
And
the
this being a
historical
whole
grand
new
strategy
kind of
game that presents a
IP,
living world
really.
where you can rule how you want to rule and chart your own path to becoming the most
I like
prestigious
that.
nation on the planet.
For Ara, we knew we needed deep systems with outcomes that encourage exploration and give players the power to experiment and make meaningful strategic choices while still having agency over their playstyle.
We also wanted to explore more in different parts of history and give players from around the world the chance to see the game reflect their unique perspective and not just
Can
ours.
you get like a London? That would be cool.
And finally,
I like
we
that.
needed for players to feel the impact of their decisions. They would need to see their choices reflected in the game world itself, not just through numbers on a menu. One of the first differences you'll see when you dive into Ara is what we call the living world. It's a procedurally generated alternate Earth, bursting with life, an intuitive, authentic, and immersive space, a blank
Interesting.
canvas for players to paint the society of their dreams.
The living world
Oh, and then you
isn't
can
just a map.
make
It
what you
reflects
want?
the choices players make over the course of the game. They can
Okay.
see everything from the settling of the wilderness to cultural influence on architecture over time to the thousands of citizens living their lives and reacting to the changes. We
Right.
want players to feel like they're truly
That's-
occupying the world, leading their people as they thrive and grow.
That's
Core
good.
to the vision of Ara is our philosophy of rule how you want to rule. And no feature better exemplifies
God, this game's
than
gonna be
the
like
prestige system.
endless,
To
especially
win a
with it
game
being
of Ara,
procedurally
players
generated
will
in that
compete
way.
with their rivals to build the most influential, impressive, and important nation the world has ever known. This is measured by prestige, the player's score that proves their worth as a leader.
The prestige system gives players the chance to decide what kind of leader they want to be. Do they want to pursue great works of arts and culture? Military might? Scientific advancement? The choice is theirs.
Oh, that's cool.
In Ara, there are no set victory conditions. Players get to decide what is most important to them and focus and prioritize on those goals while still being able to win the game.
Personally, when I play Ara, I like to build triumphs. Triumphs are our collection of incredible monuments and architectural achievements from throughout human history. Like the Great Pyramid of Giza. They're hard to build, but worth it, giving huge prestige bonuses and game-changing abilities to the nation that constructs them.
Another aspect of Ara that I'm personally excited about is our crafting system.
The crafting system offers a unique challenge to the player that they generally won't see often in the 4X genre. Succeeding at balancing, gathering the right things, turning them into the tools that you need, and then finally getting to the outcome or reward of something like an important improvement or triumph.
Hey,
just
Gloom.
changes the challenge that exists in Ara compared to other 4X games.
Crafting plays out in Ara at a national scale, with players honing and combining the natural resources they harvest into all manner of goods and components. Those are the foundation for everything, from international trade to improving their cities and citizens' lives, and even
I've been wanting a really good sim
necessary
strategy
to draft military units.
game. It
The
was so
crafting
good,
system
thank
in Ara
you.
encourages
I ate too
thoughtful,
much though.
advanced planning. It rewards
I've got the
players who
pizza
can see the
sweats.
strategic outcome of all their collective decisions, and not just the individual ones.
I'm proud of the work that's gone into our simultaneous turn system. Many strategy games have players alternate taking turns and reacting to their opponent's moves. In Ara, all
that's
players'
the only thing
actions
I
are
don't
resolved at
get.
the same time.
I don't
This rewards
understand
players' ability to navigate uncertainty,
the online
to
element
predict
of these
and strategically
games,
plan
just 'cause
for
I've
a
never
variety
played
of
them online.
scenarios in the moment. This system
And I've
makes
only
Ara
scratched the
just
surface
feel
with these
more
sort of
real.
games anyway.
In a typical strategy game, once your turn is finished, you have to wait for a long time. With simultaneous turns, generally speaking, those times are very low. You get to keep playing the game and stay engaged rather than having those periods
gonna be
of
City
downtime
Skylines, isn't
where
it?
you're not doing anything.
It's not easy sifting through all of history and picking what to include. For Ara, we wanted to offer a fresh perspective, so we looked at cultures and societies throughout the millennia with the broadest lens possible.
Where this approach really
Nice.
shines is in our leaders. Leaders are so often seen as military personnel or prominent government figures, but leaders come in so many different forms. They're thought leaders, scientific and cultural prodigies, and many more.
Each leader in Ara has a number of special abilities determined by their personality traits, as well as a powerful and unique leader trait informed by their contributions to world history.
With a diverse global roster,
I'm really
we
liking
know
this.
players will find leaders that they will want to play. And even a few that may surprise them with how fun it is when those leaders are handed the reins of power.
For us at Oxide, player feedback is the only way to really understand what you're making. It gives us that priceless perspective from the people we're making Ara for, you.
Building the game alongside real players has given us that critical player feedback. In the end, we believe this makes for a deeper connection between the players and the game.
One of my favorite examples
I
is
think
when
just
we first
knowing their
introduced the
history
concept
as well
of dangerous
of
wildlife to
the
the
games they've
It
developed.
turns out, in our first iteration,
I
it
really
was
like the
maybe a
wildlife
little
sort of
bit
side
too
and the kind of
aggressive or
agricultural
disruptive.
side.
We knew we should probably make
That
a
looked
change
really
when one of our
impressive.
insiders made a forum post that was just
Cougars, cougars,
Cougars, I hate cougars!
someone get these feline demons away from me. I'm happy to report, based on more recent feedback, that I think we ended up in a good place with the overall threat level of mountain lions to a player's citizenry.
It's been years of hard work to bring you a strategy experience like
I want to
no
release
other.
date. I want to play this
And
soon.
we're so excited that we can finally see the finish line.
And of course,
We
it's coming
can't
to
wait
Game
for players
Pass
to get their hands on
later
the
this
game
year.
later
Okay,
this year.
Okay.
But the launch of Ara is only the beginning. We are going to maintain our insider program after the release date and continue to listen to players and support the game into the future.
Nice.
On behalf of everyone at Oxide Games, thank you for joining us today. We can't wait for you to play Ara and to create your own history.
That's going to be good. For this year, that's going to be good. Is it time? Indiana Jones? Indiana Jones? It's Indiana Jones time. It's Indiana Jones time. Here we go. Is it going to be third person Or well, this is the big reveal of the Indiana Jones game. Do you think is it going to be third person? Is it going to be first person? Surely it's going to be third person, but first person would be cool.
Since the first film came out, Indiana Jones
I'm not even the biggest Indiana Jones fan, but I'm picturing this as Xbox's Uncharted.
Even today, it's one of the most iconic franchises in pop culture. In this game, you aren't just playing as Indy, you are Indiana Jones.
I'm
you
so
will
excited.
See through his eyes and experience a journey that we hope lives up to the proud legacy of Indiana Jones. When Todd Howard first told us about his vision for the game, we knew we would be a very good fit to help bring it to life.
I've wanted to make an Indiana Jones game.
I love Todd
forever.
Howard, love of my
I had
life.
this idea for what it would be
What a
like,
guy.
and the story, what Indy was going after.
So
what
he's been
period of
producing
his
this
life
whilst
it
he's
was
been doing
in,
Starfield.
What kind of arc he was going to have. And as the years went on, I thought, who would be like the best studio in the world to make this? And it was my friends at Machine Games. I can remember pitching Lucasfilm on the game and being, a little bit nervous because, look, it's, Indiana Jones, and their response was just overwhelmingly positive, and just that excitement has bled through the whole project, and they have just been so trusting and supportive of everything that we want to do with the game. It's been a long time. I've been a fan of this my whole life, and I couldn't be more excited to show you what the team here has been up to. Let's take our first look at the new Indiana Jones
Third person or first person?
Let me tell you what you are missing, Dr. Jones.
Oh, what's the voice going to be like?
While you were playing your pointless game, I was playing you.
It's already given very indie vibes. I like it.
Maybe you should have built yourself a life of meaning instead of ending up here, dead and forgotten in the sense of Africa.
Ooh, they've got their fate. They've got that all right. It's first person. Yes, I was kind of hoping it would be first person.
Just different ways to interpret the past.
I think your voice is all right.
Thousands of years of humanity's thoughts and beliefs, scattered and buried. Just waiting to be found.
You can't just run away from your problems, Indiana.
Watch me.
It's just gonna be good.
Throughout history,
mankind spiders
has built sites of great spiritual significance. If you were to draw a line through these ancient sites around the globe,
it seems so faithful.
I've had run-ins with these guys before.
I was about to say, I'm going to have to look a little bit more at the gameplay, but there's Machine Games. Their gameplay is amazing.
Let's see if you can...
Wolfenstein games were incredible. I want to watch the movies again. It's been a very long time. I haven't seen the latest one that everyone said was bad. Yeah, we're going to watch these movies. We are.
Protector of the
Imagine just having this as a franchise on Xbox, and it's like Xbox is in charge. This looks great, and it's called the Great Circle.
You have any idea how old that was?
And the voice acting, I was a little bit unsure because obviously, you know, it's not going to be Harrison Ford, but
Indiana Jones is such.
It sounds right. It doesn't sound out of place
to so many people. Everyone here at the
This is
studio
faithful.
has their own indie stories and memories. Most of us grew up with his adventures and have been fans of the movies and the character for years. He's a brilliant archaeologist, He's a charismatic everyman, he's passionate and determined. And for us, he's synonymous with adventure.
Now we have the opportunity to tell a new Indiana Jones story for a modern gaming audience. Our game is all about putting you in Indy's shoes, letting you see and
This
feel
might be
what
coming
he
out in
sees
May.
and feels. For us at Machine
Xbox
Games,
just
we
said,
do that best.
may we
through
just say how
first
excited we are, unless they're
person.
responding
It's
to
the
a
ideal
tweet
perspective
about,
to bring
oh,
you
they
into
were
the
responding
rich,
to a
exciting and
tweet about
interactive
how
world we
played.
built.
Ignore me.
We believe that being up close and personal to the adventure is key, making each action feel like your own.
Whether it's cracking your whip, solving puzzles in ancient temples, or seeing your knuckles go bloody in a fistfight, all of these moments are much more intense in first person. But we still want you to have those moments.
It's going to be
Seeing his
both.
iconic silhouette.
Oh, it's going to be
with the
both.
hat, the whip, and so for things like cutscenes and environmental traversal, we pull the camera back for third-person view.
Okay, so some actions are third
Indiana
person.
Jones and the Great Circle is set between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade.
Okay.
When our game begins, Indiana is working at Marshall College. He wakes up in the middle of the night to the sounds of a break-in and rushes to confront the thief in the college museum. The mysterious giant of a man makes off with what seems to be a historically insignificant artifact, sparking Indiana's curiosity.
Who the hell are you?
Following the trail, Indiana heads to the Vatican, hoping to learn why this particular relic was stolen,
so it's in
and discovers
Italy,
that
okay.
things aren't what they appear.
He starts pulling at the strings of a mystery, and it all unravels until he has no choice but to see it through to the end, whatever the end may be.
New York, go to London. Go to London.
On next play
Rome. They won't go to London, but it'll be nice. It'll be cool.
We always talk about how clever Indiana Jones is. That had to be one of our guiding principles when we were thinking about the type of game we were making. It wouldn't be Indy if he wasn't using his wits to get through the situation. The most authentic Indiana Jones experience we can make is the one that makes you think first.
Getting the hang of this.
Sure, there will be some obstacles that will be more easily overcome with the revolver or a gun taken from a disarmed guard. But I think most of the time you'll have more
that
fun
sounds good that you
and, to
can
be
do that.
honest, a more genuine indie experience by
It's
finding
interesting
more
this is going to be
clever ways
official
to solve the
canon
problem.
as well.
We
I just
always
glossed over
want to be
that. So the
offering
way
more
it's set in
solutions,
between the
whether
films,
it's trying
it's
a different
official
path through the
canon to the
environment
Indiana
to get
Jones
around
films.
enemies,
That's cool. It's
observing
not like
enemy
its own
patrols
separate
and using them
universe.
to your advantage. Or
And I
using
think that
the
explains
tools
why
at
it's
your
so faithful
disposal,
as well.
Like the whip.
It's an amazing global adventure with action propelling you through your journey.
We have these really diverse environments for you to explore. Indy's journey will take you to the forgotten temples of Sukhothai, the pyramids of Egypt, the snow-peaked Himalayas, and beyond.
Wow.
We look carefully at each location and the time period the game is set in, and we're trying to make it as authentic and accurate as possible.
We love creating rich, vibrant worlds, and in this game, we also had the goal of making it feel like a true cinematic Indiana Jones adventure.
One of the biggest ways to do that is with the music.
I'm trying to think what other games are coming out this year.
John Williams is the original composer for the
And this is
films,
like my-
and we're really lucky to have found Gordy Hub, a composer who's been able to capture Williams'
This might be
essence
my
with
most
his score
anticipated
for
game.
The
I'm going to have to look again at the list of games that are coming out this year. But I'm really excited for this. And
We
that's
also
as someone
take
who's
a
not
very movie-like
massive on
approach
Indiana
to
Jones.
things like cinematics. We're very physical with our production style. We use a lot of stunt actors. Things like this help us bridge the gap between making a game and making a movie.
And of course, our characters do a lot to help bring the world to life as well. Next to Indy, Gina is our other main protagonist. Where Indy is pursuing answers just for the sake of curiosity, Gina has a personal stake in getting to the bottom of the core mystery.
Okay.
Gina is an investigative reporter who has a lot riding on this
Nice.
adventure. She's been tracking a lead for some time, and now she's found an ally in this determined American professor. Their paths are intertwined, and they'll need each other in order to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Okay then, let's see if we can keep up.
Please come out like summer.
What do you mean?
I'm just trying to think realistically.
We always
Summer.
love
Summer.
our villains.
Avowed's the full game.
Found our favorite one yet in
This summer maybe. It was going to be winter. It's going to be winter.
He's obsessed with the human mind.
But it'd be amazing this was like a June, July
He's highly intelligent
release.
and the perfect foil for Indy. They're both brilliant people, compelled by their passions and obsessions, but driven down wildly different roads.
He creeps up on you and gets under your skin like he gets under Indy's skin. It's captivating.
Dead and forgotten in the sense.
Like that, the facial animation looks amazing as well.
One of our mottos.
Like,
for
can you already
Indiana
tell
Jones
this
and
guy
the Great
looks like a really
Circle
good villain?
is adventure first. But in every indie adventure, there are always those moments where he finds himself in the action.
That's been one of those balancing acts for us, and we've ended up with this sort of hybrid experience that mixes melee combat, stealth, and gunplay.
How you approach any given
With how
situation
great
is
this
up
looks
to
from
you.
taking, you know,
You
such
may
a
choose
beloved
to sneak around an
movie
enemy patrol,
franchise
or maybe
and
you'll just pick
make
up
it
a
into a game
shovel
that
and
looks,
whack them
obviously
on
we'll
the
have to
back
wait
of
till it
their
comes
head.
out, but looks this good and
when you can't
amazing.
use your wits,
This gives me a
you got
lot
Indy's
of
most iconic tool.
hope
Just like you
and
see in the movies,
optimism
one of our
now
goals has
for
been to make the
IO
whip as fun and
with
multi-purpose
them
as
developing
possible.
the
We want it
James Bond game.
integrated into every aspect of the game.
You can use it as a traversal
I
tool
think
to make your way around
you
the
know, you're gonna have
environment.
to take a lot of lessons learned from this
You
if
can
it's
use it
as
as a
good as they're
distraction.
showing us in terms of how faithful this is,
And yes,
you know,
you can
to
absolutely use
the
it in
franchise,
combat.
to the films.
Everything you'd expect from Indy's Whip, and hopefully a little bit more. Puzzles are a key feature in our game.
I'm gonna get
The
stuck in the
spirit of
puzzles. I
discovery
can't do a
is
puzzle
so
to save my
important
life.
to Indiana Jones. Obviously, there are a handful of puzzles on the main path, but a lot of the puzzles are optional and are just there for the players who want to experience them. Epic traps, small secrets.
I'm shit when it comes.
and
I always
hidden
have to just
puzzles that
YouTube
blend right in with
all
their
the time.
surroundings.
I can't.
One thing I love about our game
Can't
is
do
the
it.
level of interactivity that we have. We have this world of mystery where anything could potentially hide
Ooh,
a
what is that
secret.
post behind
The
you?
more you look, the more you'll discover.
And it's Gorilla Sandy. One of the best bands, and I don't say that a lot.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
I want to thank you all for joining us for our big reveal of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Machine Games is known for creating these roller coaster experiences with huge set pieces,
Just like your
surprising
Swift poster.
twists, and immersive narratives. It's exciting for us that we have been able to stay so true to the Indiana Jones franchise and create such an authentic experience while still being able to showcase what makes us us. We are making a game for everyone.
I'm
whether
not
you
watching
are
The
very
Notebook
familiar
now.
with the franchise or not. Because at the heart of Indiana Jones is an incredible adventure, and I think that's something everyone wants to be part of.
Give me a release window.
I'm also very excited to announce that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will
I'd
be
love to be
coming
somebody's gonna be
later
winner.
this year.
Oh, later this year,
and we
later this year,
cannot
later this
wait
year.
to
It's gonna be like
share more
winter.
soon.
Oh, there's Todd. Thank you. I don't have any water on me.
And I know things.
I need to run and get some. I think we're at the end of this though. So we're at the end of the stream. Almost. I mean, it could get delayed, but I'd say it's probably going to come out this year. It looks already like very good. I'm very excited for that. And the fact it's just coming to Game Pass. Is that it? We got a little surprise. Outro sizzle. Oh yeah, outro sizzle. Yeah. It was good. I was expecting maybe the odd kind of surprise announcement, maybe Double Fine. Maybe like one heavy hitter, maybe like the Coalition
Adults, children, and game
with
developers.
Gears of War.
Our mission here at Ninja
Pressure.
Theory is to craft life-changing art with game-changing tech.
Core to the vision of our
But I mean,
is our philosophy.
Nothing
rule
did
how
not
you
look
want to rule.
bad. It all looked great. It all looked really, really good.
Stay happy.
Creating an immersive experience like Avowed is anchored in the world we build.
You aren't just playing as Indy, you are Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I would have liked just a little surprise. I think Xbox is gearing up to potentially have a very good showcase this year. I mean, it's got to, with now that they have Activision. But I just think Nintendo and PlayStation will take a lot of the limelight this year. naturally. That's it. No surprise at the end. I give it like a 7 or an 8. Like, it was good. It was really good. Probably an 8 because we saw gameplay. So they've got the Elder Scrolls. We won't react to that. Let's just have a quick little flick through. Okay, so before we go, initial thoughts. I think that like it was good. I was just expecting maybe the odd like big surprise announcement or something, but I was expecting a lot. I just thought maybe something from Coalition because it's been a very long time, and maybe Double Fine as well. The only reason why is because I just think the limelight this year is going to be taken up so much by Nintendo, PlayStation. Nintendo, I think in a few months' time they are going to announce the successor to the Switch. And I think that will just take the whole sort of internet gaming space by storm, and everyone's going to be all talking about Nintendo and possibly the new, 3D open world Mario game coming to it. So I think that's going to sandbox Mario game coming to it. So I think that's going to be one. I think the other one as well is going to be PlayStation. I think PlayStation is going to take up so much space and headroom because I think PlayStation, they don't really have anything announced really in terms of first party. Very little. I mean, the only game that I can really think of that's coming is Wolverine, so I think they could announce maybe Ghost of Tsushima 2, maybe Naughty Dog's next game, and I think that's gonna take a lot of the limelight. I think Xbox still will, but I just think when you're putting stuff out in a year when Nintendo is going to announce a new console, naturally that'll just soak up most of the talk of the industry. That's all what I think. So that's why I thought there might have been maybe a couple of crumbs here of sort of like a bigger announcement, just so that they had that talk and had that kind of almost water cooler conversation as, oh, did you see the really big Xbox developer direct, and kick off the year where everyone's talking about Xbox, but we didn't have that. I don't think. I think it showed what they said they're going to show, brilliant, and we saw gameplay. It was brilliant, and that's why I think it's still actually about an 8 because the gameplay looked great, the games looked brilliant, and I think it just showed how great Xbox is doing right now. I think we're back to the 360 days of Xbox where they're just releasing, if we're judging off this and it's successful, banger after banger of the game. Avowed looks really good. Obsidian, they are brilliant at making, look at that. They made Fallout New Vegas. They made the Outer Worlds. They're great at making these sort of games. RPG games, role-playing games. And I think to have their own big RPG that's probably going to roll into a franchise, like the Outer Worlds has, that's a space thing. They've got this, which is, their kind of fantasy thing, a little bit similar to Bethesda. I think this got the potential to be brilliant if we're going off their previous games, which have been absolutely amazing in this sort of genre. So I think, combat looks great as well. The gameplay looked great. The quest, is what you expect from Obsidian, but still looks brilliant, as you'd expect. I think moving on as well, I'll go over to Hellblade. Hellblade, didn't play the first one. I do really, really want to play it. It's definitely my cup of tea. But this game, we've seen so much of. This was the first Xbox Series S and X game that was announced. So we've been waiting for this for so long, for years. I think visually, this will probably be the game that is in that Game of the Year conversation, and people look back on it, and they'll look back on it extremely fondly. I think the visual fidelity is going to be absolutely jaw-dropping. This is going to be a massive release that really utilises the, I believe it's Unreal Engine 5 they're using, and I think one thing that, people say that the first game did so well was sound, and how mind-blowing the sound was. And it literally says on the screen when you boot up, play this game with headphones on. And I think this game will also do a lot with the sound, and I think it'll be really impressive in terms of the spatial audio and what they do with that. And I think that might even... It's got potential to push the industry forward in that way with sound, because I think you can still go down so many avenues and paths with sound. Now, moving on from Hellblazer, that's coming out May 21st, which isn't long to go. That's going to be great. I'm hoping to be in New York in that time, so I'm going to miss it. But I'd rather be in New York, because that's my dream place to go to. I'm going to glance over. I'm going to go over Legend of Mana, just because I don't know that franchise at all. So I'm not really one to talk about it. But what I will say is that I am glad that Square Enix is back collaborating, working with Xbox. I think, it's great that Xbox is getting involved again with Japanese developers and publishers, and bringing, those sort of beloved franchises over to Xbox. I think is a great thing. More games the better, and Xbox has been lacking, Japanese games for best part of probably about 8, maybe even 10 years, maybe even a decade at this point. So it's good to see that starting to change. Oxide. So I love simulation strategy games, but I've played hardly any of them. I've only just got a PC, so I wasn't interested in this game at all until about a month ago. And the reason is because I know you can play strategy and sim games on a controller, but it's just not the same. When you play that on a really great computer, that is where it just works, and it's amazing, and they're so fun to play. So I haven't played a strategy game probably in like a decade. Obviously, Civ games are great. I've only dabbled a little bit in them, but I know how beloved they are. And I think the fact that these developers are making just a new IP, really, which is like alternative sort of history and sort of universe in terms of Earth, and you being able to build whatever you like, I think that is very, very cool and really impressive. And that's coming out in fall, just like Avowed. And finally, Indiana Jones: The Great Circle. I'm not like the biggest Indiana Jones fan. I've seen like the original trilogy, and it's all right, it's good. Watched it as a kid. I'm that kind of guy. But what got me excited about this is that when I heard that Xbox were getting Indiana Jones, I was looking at this as Xbox's Uncharted, which Xbox needs, really. It needs an Uncharted. And the fact that Todd Howard, this guy, is sort of the executive producer and somewhat, part of the brains behind it, is just already makes you think, okay, it makes you pay attention to this. And just looking at the gameplay, I mean, I thought it was going to be third person. And it's a little bit third person depending on what you do, but the fact it's first person, I think is brilliant. Machine Gun Games, they're great at first person action games. They've done the Wolfenstein games. I'm just looking now, it's just been confirmed that Troy Baker, I did wonder if that was his voice. Troy Baker, he is playing Indiana Jones in this game. Troy Baker, he's one of the biggest, obviously, voice actors in the games industry. He's done Joel in The Last of Us. He's done like every game. We even did what the brother in Uncharted 4. But I think the gameplay just looks so immersive. Troy is nailing the voice acting as Indy. I think it doesn't feel out of place, and this looks so faithful to the franchise, and it just looks genuinely immersive to play. And it's taken all the stuff that Machine Gun Games are so good at with combat, first person combat action, like what you see here, and putting in an Indiana Jones game with the narrative and the brains of Todd Howard from Bethesda behind it. I think it's going to be brilliant. I think it's going to be really good. I just thought this game's going to be good, great for Xbox. Obviously, I'll play it when I come out. I didn't think I'd be hyped for it. I am really hyped for it. I think this looks great. So yeah, all in all, this was a really, really good, strong facial animations look great. A really strong developer direct. I'm glad that we got some release dates. I would have liked release dates for all of them, but at least we got a release window for one. We got a release date for 2 out of the 5 games that were shown, 4 that were confirmed originally before. But yeah, I give it about an 8. This was a really good showcase. And yeah, thank you for joining me. We'll be doing more reacts, I think. This has been fun hanging out with you. I mean, obviously, there's bound to be Nintendo Direct some point next month. They always tend to do February. So if it looks like there's a lot of hype behind that, I think we'll react to it anyway. It's either going to be, I hope it's going to be boring, because I think if Nintendo Direct is boring, that means they're about to announce the next Nintendo console. If they announce a whole bunch of games for the Switch, say goodbye to the Switch 2, it ain't coming out this year. But we'll probably react to that, and then of course in the summer we're going to have the big Summer of Gaming showcase. We'll most undoubtedly have PlayStation, State of Play before that as well probably, and of course we'll have the Xbox showcase in the summer as well. So we've got lots going on, lots to look forward to. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be posting my streaming schedule over my Discord within the next day, and I'll be back streaming probably sometime next week, probably Monday, most definitely probably Tuesday as well, but we'll look at that, we'll sort that out. So yeah, take care, and I'll speak to you again soon. Have a lovely few days, and I'll speak to you next week.